Okay, here are two more examples of graphing quadratic equations. And again, I'm building up to something here, but we're just going to keep going one video at a time. So let's go ahead and take this first example, y equals x squared plus 1. And we're going to plug in some values and determine the y values and plot those points, see what this thing looks like. Okay, first thing is negative 2 for the x. This gives me y equals parentheses negative 2 squared plus 1. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Plus 1 gives me 5. So I put a 5 right there. Next one, y equals parentheses negative 1 squared plus 1. This gives me positive 1 plus 1, which is 2. 2 right there. Now 0 squared plus 1 is 0 plus 1, which is 1. Okay. Next one, y equals 1 squared plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Ooh, it's always the difficult ones that catch me there. 1 plus 1 is, in fact, 2. Okay, y equals 2 squared plus 1, which is 4 plus 1, which is 5, and we'll stick the 5. And again, you're noticing some symmetry here in the numbers, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, at least for the y values. Let's go ahead and plot those points. X is negative 2, y is 5. So here's my negative 2 up to 5. Put a point right there. Make that a bit bigger. Negative 1, positive 2. There's the next point. Negative 1 for the x, positive 2 for the y. 0, 1. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, that was a big sloppy point. And then 2, 5. 2 up 5. There we go. About there. And now you're going to try to connect these with a smooth curve. I always have trouble with that point. Okay, something like that. I put these little arrows, but that's not to say that those are that it proceeds linearly after that. It still continues to curve. And let's label our vertex. The vertex is right here. And we can put a point on it even. The point right there, that is the vertex, is 0 for the x, 1 for the y. The axis of symmetry, remember, goes right through the vertex, meaning that you could flip this around the axis of symmetry and get the same picture. So it looks like this was the same picture as we had last time, only it shifted up by 1. And that's because we added 1 here on the outside. Let's take a look at the next example and plug in some values. And I'm going to start with my negative 2 to positive 2, but I added a couple more, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, let me go ahead and plug in the values. Y equals parentheses negative 2 minus 2 parentheses squared plus 1. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. In the parentheses squared plus 1. This gives me positive 16 plus 1, which is 17. Okay. Next, y value. I'm going to plug in negative 1 for my x, minus 2 squared plus 1, equals parentheses negative 3 squared plus 1, which is 9 plus 1, gives me 10. Alrighty. Plug in my 0. Of course, you can fast forward through all this if you don't want to continue seeing me doing boring computation. Or you can pause me, do the computations, fast forward, and then see if you got the same results. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Quantity squared plus 1 equals 4 plus 1, which is 5. Okay, there we go. Now I plug in the 1 and get the following. Pow. Okay, 2 for that one. I'm about to hit my graph, so I'm going to have to draw my computation somewhere else, and it's going to start to look like your homework does. And why not? 2 minus 2 is 0 squared. Plus 1 is just 1. Okay, we'll put in our 3, and I think I'll do the next two values just here below so I don't run into my graph. So y equals parentheses 3 minus 2 squared plus 1. That gives me 1 squared plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Kind of skip ahead there a little bit. And the last one, y equals parentheses 4 minus 2 parentheses squared plus 1. 4 minus 2 is 2 squared plus 1. Let's just call that 4 plus 1 is 5. And notice that we didn't have the symmetry right away going from x equals -2 to x equals 2. That is, we didn't have the symmetry in the y values. Really, we didn't get to it until here. And now we can certainly see points with symmetry. So I'm going to go ahead and just plot those points and then talk about it a little bit. So 0, 5. 0, 5 is right there. Okay. 1, 2 is here. 2, 1 is there. 3, 2 is here. And 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 5 is here about. And again, we connect with the smooth curve here. I'll start the other way this time. Okay, something like that. And we can identify the vertex as this point. You could even see it in the table where the thing bottomed out. That is located at 2, 1. And the axis of symmetry, of course, goes right through that. Once again, axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex. Okay. And you can simply see that as my lowest y value right here corresponding to that x value. There's the vertex. And surrounded by that vertex is the symmetry that we see. Okay, let me do another video, and we'll just continue flowing with this until we get to some more general things. So keep watching.